You made it. You made it. Even with all the bazillion things that you have going on in your day and in your life, thank you so much for making time for us, for making time for you. I am Monica Sturdivant Ray, and it is my extreme privilege that you are joining us as we're talking about motivations with me. Um, Let me say what we want to do is to go from anguished to amazed, crippled to courageous, and desperate to determined. Desperate to determined. I want to share this with you. This is, as you can tell, I hope you can tell, broken glass. And for all of us, even in 2019 and the beginning of 2020, most of us, this is what our life is like, with all these challenges and all these things we had to deal with. And then came that thing called 2020. Wow. Big, jagged, horrible edges. COVID-19, unemployment, social unrest, racial injustice. We are to the point in so many avenues where we can't even get through a conversation where some hate somebody else because they don't agree. Wow. Worried about your children, worried about how to homeschool them. How do you take care of your family? How do you stay safe? Well, we're here to talk about that tonight. It's to the point where with COVID-19, and let me say first that my heart bleeds and we pray for families that have been affected, because everybody's been affected by this virus, and many have lost loved ones. Wow. You remain in our prayers, you remain in our hearts and our thoughts, and we just want you to know that we are thinking about you. That's what we want you to know. We are to the point now, many of us, and I've been there too, where getting out of bed is a chore. Going to bed and resting, sleeping well. When's the last time you did that? Enjoying yourself. Just going through what we have to go through. It's overwhelming. And so one of the things I wanted to do was to share some things that have helped me along my journey. And I'm sure you're like, who is Monica Ray? Many of you know me, but who is Monica Ray and what has she been through and what can she say to us? Quick story. Our daughter was born at 1.5 pounds, which means months and months in the hospital. She lives with lifelong complications. The day she was born, or during the time she was born, she was given a 15% chance to live. My mother, at the very same time, while my daughter was in the hospital in intensive care, suffered a massive stroke, which basically took her from us. I was told when I got to the hospital that she would die that day. So my child, my mother, the two females that I love the most in my life, just like I know that you love those in yours, unable to help either one of them. And so our child has dealt with lifelong debilitating complications. And my mother, after a horrible time, passed. So 24 years later, we are still living from the ramifications from what that did to us, what that did to our family, what that did to me. And I feel in a part of my healing is to share some of the things that helped me. First of all, grace and glory to the Lord, who stays in our corner despite the issues. Wonderful kudos to that circle of amazing people throughout my life who have helped me navigate this thing when life threw us curves, just like life has thrown and is throwing you curves. So what can you do? What have I learned to help you with your walk? Let's start. Relationships. Use your personal protective equipment. Those of you in healthcare know what I'm talking about, so let's break it down for everybody else. Most of us, and I hope all of us, wear a mask. We sanitize all the time. We socially distance and try to get away, so that we're not close to people too long. We do all that. We don't go certain places. We don't hang out certain places like we used to. That is what we call using our personal protective equipment. What I've learned in my journey is that I recommend that you also do this within your own household. Let me tell you that I am not a licensed, see my note? I am not a licensed mental health professional, nor am I a medical professional. I have no expertise, no training. I want you to know that. I've gone to counseling many, many times, and I encourage you to do the same. I've been in support groups, and I don't know what I would have done had I not had those. They have helped me stay sane, and the times I went insane, they helped me come back. So I encourage you to do that, and I wish I had gone before I did. What I'm trying to say to you is protecting your home, protecting those that are around you from you. In my own personal relationship, I've been married to an amazing guy for 37 years. He has made, over time, my life better. He is, I believe, a gift. He blesses my life in tremendous ways. And so I'm thankful for that. And I want you to be thankful if you have strong relationships as well. But, he gets on my last nerve and jumps up and down on it. Sometimes, and I am sure with me, he is like, what am I doing here? What was I thinking? I must have been drunk to connect to this woman. I know that I have pulled his chain and put him through all kinds of things. And especially when you're dealing with huge amounts of stress. I was already angry. Are you already angry? Frustrated, depressed. He used to come through the door and I would jump on him, bounce on him with all the problems. What the doctor said today. This is wrong, that is wrong, this is wrong, that is wrong, this is wrong. He would have fixed it if he could have. But a beautiful friend named Estelle taught me one of the things I want you to learn, or us to get together, and I'm sure, please give us your comments because I want to hear from you, is that no one person can fix everything in your life, and no one person should expect it to. So I have learned that over time, and I'm getting better at it. But when you deal with long-term stuff, I'm still not there. I'm sure you're not either. But being aware is so important. So important. You saying good morning to me within my home. I'm ready to, what's good about it? You saying good night. What's good about it? I mean, I already came to the table. I already came to my situation with all that stress. And I took that stress out on the people that I love. We have to be aware so we don't do that. I love fish. They're my favorite animal in the house. And, pretty fish with the bubbles and the water and everything. But there were times when pretty fish, got on my nerves. Just got on my nerves. Them swimming around. I'm thinking, you don't have any stress. That's not fair. Just be aware. What else I want to tell you is accomplish or work on accomplishing a little tiny goal, a little tiny thing for you every day. That magnificent thing called that phone, whichever kind of phone you have. I have a cheap one. Maybe you have an expensive one. It doesn't matter. I want you to use that phone. Schedule time with yourself. You're like, you're crazy. How could I possibly do that with my life? Do you know what I have to deal with? Do you know I have to be here and there? I have to do this and that. I'm worried about everything from the rent to the bills to are my kids getting what they need? Or what about Zoom? I don't know how to do algebra on Zoom. I'm worried about all that, and you want me to take some me time? I absolutely do. It is pivotal. It is critical. Over the long haul, I have developed chronic illnesses that are intensifying because of the level of stress. So I want to be that little warning, take care of you so that you can take care of others. Me time. Me time is so important. When's the last time you took some me time? I know you don't have an hour. I know you don't have a half a day. I'm talking minutes. I'm talking minutes. So on your phone, schedule times for you just like you would for anything else. 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever you can get away with, it's for you. It is so important because you've given yourself away. You are already giving everybody else 150%. Take 2%. 2% for you. For you, that's so important. I want to share a secret with you. Come closer, come closer. Come here, come here, come here. Try not to focus on my big nose. Women, I want you to hear this. And guys and children, I want you to turn your back because I don't want you to hear this part, okay? You don't need to hear this part. I have been told that the 2 places that women can hang out are the bathroom, take some extra minutes in there, take an extra long shower, take an extra long whatever you need to do in the bathroom, and the car. Can you take the long way to get somewhere? Can you sit in the car while you're waiting for somebody? What can you do? What can you do? Some personal you time. I actually heard a story where a lady, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard this, when she would go to make lots of doctor's appointments, and the reason she would do that is it was a long time. I don't know if that's true or if that's not, but I was like, I have to see a lot of doctors. My family has to see a lot of doctors. I might need to work that in. I may need to work that in. You time is critical. Another thing I want to encourage you to do is counseling and all of that is to, with the counseling, I need to tell you a very quick story. One of the first times I went to counseling, the person I was working with said to me, after hearing my concerns, you don't have it together like you think you have it together. Do what? Oh no, you've lost your mind. What? You said that? Oh no. Oh no. What? And this person also said to me, you are focusing on the wrong thing. I was angry with that counselor for years, not 2 or 3 days, not 2 or 3 months, years. But what I finally realized over time is that that person was right. That person was right. How painful that was to me to admit that I had no control, very little control, and there wasn't a whole lot I could do about it except work on me. Wow. Wow. So one of the things I encourage you to do, should it be what you want to do, is to get an anchor or a prop. And you're like, what is that? What does that mean? That means to, I heard of a lady that has a rock. She keeps the rock in her purse. And that rock reminds her of something. My nephew wrote on his mirror. He wrote his goals and his affirmations, things that made him be positive. For me, I have this little $1 mirror that I wrote this on. Mine is, just today, Lord. Just today. Because God in heaven knows I can't deal with tomorrow. I can't even deal with tonight. Just today, Lord. So what can you use as something that reminds you? Some people use rings, some use bracelets, some, whatever it is for you that helps remind you to go back and be focused on the things that affirm or are positive for you. Let me also share with you the one to me that was the most difficult. And if I cry, it's only because I'm human. It's only because I'm still in the journey. The levels of stress, as I told you, that you learn better to live with sometimes, but then new stressors come. And so I want to share with you that what has helped me. See the book here that I wrote, Learning to Splash. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? That opened to rave reviews. Learning to thrive when life is different from the life that you thought you'd have. In my own life, my child was not able to go to school. It wasn't our choice, but that's how it happened for 7 separate years. So I know a little bit about the homeschooling journey. We would get ready for the semester every semester, the book bags, the pencils, the calculators, whatever, only for her not to be able to. Me watching, listening to I didn't even have to see it, watching the school bus go down the road or hearing the school bus go down the road and knowing that my child was not able to be on it would bring me to tears. Realizing that with my mom, she never knew that her grandbaby was okay. She was not able to be a part of her grandchild's life. You have similar stories and stories that are even tougher. One of my bestest friends was abandoned as a child, and she's nearly 80 years old and has lived with this kind of stress her whole life. So what do you do when life is not what you thought it should be because of circumstances? What do? You learn over time. I learned over time with tremendous support. This is not me. This is other people lifting and holding me up and picking me back up when I fall down, to thrive when life is different. COVID-19, that horrible thing we have to live with. We don't know how long it will take, but what I would say for all of us, through our anxiety and our fear and all those feelings that we have of the unknown as we try to walk through the darkness, is to remember that we can still thrive. You're like, what are you talking about? I was able, through God's grace, to write a book about healing during this and it took me 3 years to do it. What things can you do that are positive and potential for you to thrive? We learned workarounds. As long as you're still going, you don't have to go in a straight line. But what things can you do over time? Because I know you're overwhelmed. Who is not? Where you thrive, and you can. You already have done it. You just don't realize it. Take time, take some minutes, and just think about how you are still thriving, regardless of what you are dealing with. You will be amazed. You will be amazed. I want to let you know about something that's coming up that's amazing. I cannot believe this is happening. This is my second work that is getting ready to come out. It is your A through Z Stormy Days devotional. I go all the way through the alphabet from A to Z, and I've mentioned some of those where you go from crippled to courageous, anguished to amazed. They're affirmations all the way through the alphabet to help you with your day. It will be available soon, and I am hoping that it may be something that you might want to keep or you might want to give to somebody else, and it's going to be coming out soon. That means 2 works in 15 months. Can you believe that? Look what God can do with you. Look what God has already done with you. You will be amazed. I want to end by letting you know that we hear you. We're always interested in what you have to say. So hit us up. If you want to instant message me and provide your email, I'll be happy to send you information about the devotional. But I want to finish with this. Even with that broken glass, even with all the broken glass in your life, I want you to know that you can still be illuminating, shining bright like a diamond, doing things you never thought you'd be able to. I wish blessings, good health, safety to everybody. Thank you so much for entrusting your time to me.